Hey Samir, again, someone else from my home state of North Carolina. This is See More Better with freeprescriptionlenses.com. I'm recomposed after last night, got out of here at 9, back in at 8 a.m. this morning, just so I can get your lenses ready for you today. This is what frame could be in this cute little box. It is the RayBan 4105, color 601S, which is the matte black, and the 54 eye size, which is the larger. There's a 50 and a 54. Of course, your RayBan cleaning cloth. This is, again, the matte black frame. No rhyme or reason. Sometimes they send a black case, sometimes they send a brown case. So, got to use the sound effects when opening this. Whoopsh, 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 whoopsh. Where's my flashlight? The RayBan 4105, color 601S, and the 54 eye size, the Folding Wayfarer. And of course, these are made in Italy. 99% of the sunglasses are made in Italy. 99% of the ophthalmic glasses, meaning it's designed, it comes with clear demo lenses to have prescription lenses put in it, are made in China to the same standards that these are, in the same town that iPhone and MacBooks are made in, same high quality standards. So let me go ahead and put your frame into, I love the little where it says RayBan there on the hinge itself. I'll put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. Program your shape, which is 1388, into the computer. Hit start. Little stylus is going to pop up and go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Where? Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. In just a moment, that will pop up on the screen. Come on, pop up there. Pop, pop, pop. Okay. Your pupillary distance is 33.5 for the right eye. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap the plus button a couple times till we get there. Let's go ahead and raise the optical center up a couple millimeters to 26. Let's do that. I'm going to double check something. Was that at 24? That means that would make that 48. Yeah, it is. Okay. All right. Good to know. 48 millimeters deep. All right. So I need to get your lenses prepped. I've already taken out the hard glass G15 lenses. I've kept them here to compare how your Transitions green lenses look when I'm done. But as always, I need to put some ink in the lensometer. So what I did is I moved the pad over to where there's a new spot. Let's see how that works. Put a fresh little ink pad, make sure that's in the right spot. It is. Got to get some ink in there. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just not putting ink on there. I squeeze this little eyedropper. Maybe I'm just not pulling it up. And a little bit down here with you, because that's the one that was having difficulty last night. Yes, I'm talking to the machinery. So let's turn the axis wheel to 60. Put the power drum on -3 because your prescription reads -3, -50 at 60. Take the lens out of the protective packet. Line up the lens. Find the optical center. And find the spherical component of your prescription. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Maybe onto something temporarily. There are dots. Maybe it's just tired late in the day. We're going to mark that one R. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. -350, -50 at 105, -350, -50 at 105. Now the other thing I want to do before I go any further, just so you know you're getting the original Essilor Transitions green lenses. -3, -50 is the right eye. I'm going to highlight that. Let's mark this one the right lens. This is the left lens. Airwear Transition Signature 7 graphite green lenses, hard coated. -350, -50. Take the lens out of the protective packet. Axis wheels on 105. Power drum needs to go to -350. Put the lens in, rotate until the spherical component comes into view. Check the astigmatism correction. Know that my eyepiece is adjusted. That goes back to Brett's video from last night. My lab instructor, always make sure your eyepiece is adjusted. I'm going to mark this one the left lens. And if you guys missed any of that, say it with me. Let me recap. So, okay, this is a block, or as I like to call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach 2 double-sided adhesive stickers to these, of which I've got down here. I need to make my workspace more ergonomic, but I don't mind walking around. It's good exercise. I should walk while I still can. So, pull the paperweight to make the black side sticky. On the back is a magnet. It's going to hold its place there. If I can find the stylus, which I have lost, we're going to get everything lined up where it's supposed to be. Make sure the lens is large enough, and it is. I'm going to hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the lens that ain't right, which today will be played by the part of the left lens. Line that up. Your pupillary distance for your left eye is 32.5, so I'm going to adjust that. Hit the minus button twice as it goes down in 0.5 millimeter increments. Get everything lined up there, and hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger, and I'm going to do something differently with this one. I'm going to actually program it. Let's wake it up. Job number 1388. 1388. I'm going to manually place the bevel on this one and line up the magnet into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Larry, the dirty Larry now. I'm going to, the clean door closes, clamp shuts, and the lens is going to be traced to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape. And I'm going to manually move the bevel. I'm going to move the lens backwards in there just to see if I can make this fit better, which is tricky. This is always the 4105 or any of the Wayfarers have a deeper bevel. They always take more to cut, so I could use the front bevel there. I could use the rear bevel, move all of this stuff, but what I want to do is go back to that. I want to cut. Right now it's set for 1.3 millimeters. It'll be 2.6 millimeters on the back of the lens. You can almost see the bevel right there, where that's going to be placed. So I actually want to put it on the front, just 1 millimeter all the way around. It's going to give me 2.96 in the back at the 310 at the largest, 383 there. So let's see how that's going to go. I'm going to try and just experiment here, do something a little different in the videos. Hit the green arrow at your start. The door closes, the clamp shuts. Well, it's all been done before. The cutting wheel starts up. The light you will see flickering in the background. Cue the water. That is water there to catch the optical sawdust. That will start to happen as soon as the lens touches down onto the cutting wheel. Slowly, slowly, slowly. There we go. But there you go. There's some optical sawdust, some schwarf on the edge of the lens. But these lenses are made out of polycarbonate. Polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and flying debris. It's also the same lens material that OSHA requires in the majority of the safety glasses made for factory workers when they're on their factory floor to protect their eyes. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin. Your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin, so both these lenses, UV protection in here, UV protection in the clear lens. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you need to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun. Now if you notice, your lens is flat, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter on its own. It's now going through its check and balance system. Of course, I've already programmed where the bevel will be placed onto the front of the lens, so it's going to move to the bevel wheel slightly differently now. Now you got the Essilor transitions. Now Essilor feels that polycarbonate is light as air, so they call this airwear. TR stands for transitions. The V11 is Roman numerals for 7. The GG graphite green HC is hard coated. So you're going to get the original packaging knowing that you're getting the Essilor polycarbonate transition signature 7 graphite green lenses. Of course, you'll know that when you go outside. You'll know that because you're watching the video. So water has begun spraying on the lens, which tells me it's in the last 20 seconds of the cutting cycle. Now it's going to get a safety bevel onto the rear of the lens, the concave surface. We are almost done. Almost, hardly. Because I know what obstacle is going to happen next. After this door opens and I take the lens out and dry it off, there's a very high probability that this lens will not fit just yet. I know this from experience. Ooh, look, some more optical sawdust. I love it when it comes off in one piece. And by now you know that I like to clean all the swarf off the lens. I would say may the swarf be with you, but I'm not, because I'm taking it all off. And normally I collect it neatly into one pile and then wipe it on the floor, but my wife hates it when I do that. It's our anniversary this weekend, so let me walk all the way over to the trash can. I mean, literally, who has time to do that in the course of a day? Now the bevel, as you can see, instead of being in the middle of the lens, I can't see what you guys are seeing, but I move the bevel to the front of the lens, which hopefully is going to make this lens, which is a little bit thicker and a larger eye size, sit differently. So it's tucked in there. I'm going to use my thumbs to press down. Ain't no way this thing's going in, so I'm going to take it down 1/4 of a millimeter, 0.25. Where's my magnifying glass? We're going to keep this out today. Minus 0.25. Put it back in. Hit retouch. Now instead of going back to the cutting wheel, it's going to go straight to the bevel wheel. Then it's going to take 1/4 millimeter off, going all the way around the circumference or the radius. I'm not that smart. Someone leave a comment what this is, the outside, the peripheral, the diameter of the lens, until it snaps in there easily. Now a lot of people, the big labs, when you go somewhere and they tell you it'll take 1 to 2 weeks to make your glasses, they're sending it to a lab that does 1,000 pair of lenses a day. Which, not bad. 95% of all optical shops don't cut their own equipment. Again, this equipment costs $40,000. You have to have a trained person that takes time away from the sales floor, which is what generates the money. So they send it off to a lab where there's someone who does not have a professional license like me, who did not go to school for this. They're literally a machine operator, and which I'm jealous. They don't have to do paperwork, they don't have to do advertising, they don't have to pay the bills. There's so much more to running a successful optical shop than just making glasses. But when you go to these places, they will use heat. This is essentially just a hair dryer. They're going to heat the plastic up to where it's more pliable and force the lens in there. Now that looks great at first. It speeds up how you can make glasses. It's a shortcut, but it causes the frame to stretch, or what we in the industry call roll. If you can imagine your frame being a gutter, if you were to heat this up, eventually the force applied to the frame, which this is the skinniest piece of plastic around the frame, eventually that would roll outwards, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of the frame. So I do everything what's known as a cold mount. Let me run my thumbnail around, drop that in there. Love you, honey. Tuck that in at the outside corner, and now it pops in there easily, perfectly. Oh man, that's good. That is good. Let me do that. Flip that over to L. Place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, the dirty Larry. I'm a kidder. I like to make fun of Larry. So I've added something to my wall. Of course, you've seen George, who I like to call Jorge. Skylar, who's a very sad thing, wonderful, fun-loving, caring, playful 13-year-old girl, who this time last week had no care in the world other than what homework was due, is asking me, do I still want to cut it at 1 millimeter? The answer is yes. Got the flu this weekend, got a blood clot, couldn't move her right arm, right leg. They did open heart surgery. It was too late, there was nothing they could do. 48 hours earlier, she was healthy, no care in the world. Her parents are making funeral arrangements for her now. Of course, you've seen my posters all around, but I have added the Harley Davidson collection to the website. And if anyone wants Harleys, you can get those from me too. And my brother-in-law likes to ride, partially because he custom built a 3-car garage onto his house. He literally built his house when he was a teenager. He made it all one level because he knew he was going to retire and die in that house. Kind of morbid thought when you're 17 years old. But I'm going to darken this again so you guys can see that. Come down here, spin the axis wheel back to 60. I'm just going to do a quick inspection. But he built a 3-car garage onto his house that he cannot get a car into because it is filled with remote control planes. He probably has over 100, some of them with almost the gliders, with probably 12, 15-foot wingspan. He has them hanging in the rafters. He has them lining like the bays going around. Everything, and all he can get in there is a motorcycle. So he rides Harleys. Let's check the power. I have it on 60. I'm getting -3 because you have 12 steps of far-sighted correction with your glasses off. Everything is much too large. That's why you have great near vision. You can see your fingerprints like nobody's business. But when you start to move it away, everything gets blurry. So you need 12 steps of far-sighted correction. Once everything is the correct size, you need 2 steps of astigmatism correction, of which I will check now at the 60th meridian, and we end up at -350, exactly halfway between 3 and 4. So now your left eye, you actually need 14 steps of far-sighted correction, still another 2 steps of astigmatic correction at the 105th meridian. When I say meridian, a straight line is 0 to 90 to 180. For the left eye, we're going to turn it to the oblique meridian of 60. For the left eye, we're going to turn it past the 90 to about 105. Just means you have 2 eyes, a spherical component. For your right eye is 3, your left eye is -350. You have 1 curve, which is this way. You have a second curve, which is steeper this way, the 50th meridian, because that's an additional 2 steps. And it's how we line those 2 curves up to make everything nice and crisp. For the right eye, it's 60. For the left eye, it's 105. These first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This tells us the powers needed to see correctly. This just tells us where to place those powers for you to see correctly. Now, the RayBan 4105 in the 54 eye size sells for $150. The Transitions Green at $69.99 for a total of $219.99. Most places, optical shops you will go to get your exam, they will sell you just polycarbonate transition or plastic, which is thicker and not as safe. They'll probably charge you about $219 just for the prescription with transitions. You're going to get all that from me when you buy the frame for roughly the same price. So essentially it's almost like getting a free frame. So buy your lenses from me and you'll get a free frame. So I know what doctor's offices charge. Love you, honey. I'm gonna clean up as I go. I have to. My anniversary is this weekend. 11 years. 11 years of bliss. Where's your frame? Oh, here it is. I've already lost it. So I'm going to tuck this into the outside corner. Press down at the nose. It snaps right in. I'm going to write that down -25, -25. I took it down a quarter, so in the future, should you ever need more lenses, I will know exactly how much I took it down by. Now, this is the reason why it's paper clipped on here. This is not your permanent card. I use these colors while it is cutting. I'm going to attach this to your card that has your address, your phone number, your email. I just didn't want your personal information to be shown, so that's why I do that. So, let me pop this off, dry that off, throw that back in there, put the sticker on there. Can you guys see the black dot? I can too. So, turn the fine tune knob to 105. By the way, put it in over that black dot. Stop by the dollar store to get junk food, which is still my weakness. And they have these sunbeam lamps for $1. These are LED lights. Nice little touchpad too. But they're extremely bright. When I do my social media pics, I now have a little thing there. Grab my phone, take pictures, pop, pop, pop. Great lamp. I'm going back to pick up about 5 of these. I don't know how long they're going to last for. I'm sure there's a reason they're at the dollar store. But is that off? Come on, turn off, turn off. There we go. And turn the power drum to -350. So if anyone out there wants a great lamp, it's super bright, lightweight for $1. Best dollar I ever spent, I told my wife. Except for that one time I was at a strip club, and well, I digress. Let's get back to work here. -350. Now we're on -4 because I'm checking the astigmatism correction. That's cut perfectly. Let's turn that off, or else I have to spend some dollars on some batteries. Pupillary distance 33.5 for the right, 32.5 for the left, for a total of 66. Let's turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb on the right lens. When we hold up to the left lens, we're getting 66, so that is cut perfectly. Now this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that you get free shipping. I'm still reaching for the tissues there. You get free shipping anywhere in the U.S., and my state of North Carolina is still in the U.S. But when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. Put my paper clip back right there in that little slot so it's ready for the next time. Press down on the counter. There is no wobble. When I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. And again, I'm wearing, this is my oldest trick. Take a pair of sunglasses, the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer, the RayBan 4105 Folding Wayfarer, and turn them into clear glasses. Now again, we have the transitions green. I forget what I have in here. I think I actually have the green. Let me put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing. Flip that over, press down. There is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly. Oh, this one's a little bit different. I can do all sorts of things with this one. But this is what your lenses look like clear. I'm going to go ahead and activate them, which means I'm going to expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. By the way, look at this. Look at that, barely any edge thickness whatsoever. And I was concerned because I actually moved the bevel backwards, forcing the lens out the back of the frame, because I'm going to try something new here with the transitions and the way that is mounted. But let's go ahead and expose these to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now as you can see, all transition lenses will get dark on day one and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks are exposed. After that, they'll work for years with maximum performance. The only time they won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day, and that's why they don't turn dark. Now if you have a convertible or a motorcycle, they will darken, or if you get transitions extra active, they will actually get 30 to 50% dark behind a car. Now they're also temperature sensitive, meaning they will get darker when it's 85 degrees and above than they will when it's 85 and below than they will when it's 95 and above. But I remind everyone, when it's 100 degrees outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees outside. So just keep that in mind too. Now the transitions extra active will get darker outside. So that's it. That's the first time they've been activated. Let me grab one of the RayBan original G15 lenses. I'd say that was pretty close. That is pretty cool. You're going to look like you have the original RayBan lenses in your frame when you go outside. And of course, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com, on Twitter as freerxlenses. You can email me on the Contact Me page on the website, as you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And of course, by now, you know I like to also ask people to leave a question or comment down below, because other people can learn from it. That's why we're here on this planet. Learn and love. Do as much of the two as you can while you're here. What other noble means is there while we're here on the planet? So find your why. Find what makes you get up, makes your heart beat every day, makes you have drive. I love what I do. This isn't work. That's why I was here till after 9 on most nights. I'm here at 8 a.m. most nights. I try and give weekends to my wife. But this is my passion, this is my why, this is my drive. I hope everyone else finds theirs, bring some meaning to it. Let me stand in front of the RayBan poster. So, that's it. Again, Samir, he got a pair from me about 5 years ago when I was new, when I was young. The guy was great. Of course, here's another bit of trivia. He's now 17 years old. Big 17-year-old guy. But I told him about the program at Durham Tech since he lives here in the state. He's bilingual. I think he's going to do very well in this profession. He wants to study computer science. Nothing against that great profession there too. A lot more math than I had to put up with. You know, I could have been a doctor, but it was that chemistry part that did it. So I became an optician. But that's it. As I keep talking, you can see as they lighten them. Now, I did expose them to a very strong burst of UV light. If the normal sunshine wouldn't do that, this is very up close and personal lighting. So, but actually, I need to experiment with my light and see if this will darken it too. Let's see. Put that back on there. We're going to do just that one side. Let's see if that makes it darker. Now, these LED lights were made by Cree, which is about 15 miles from here. Can't see the button to turn it off. There we go. Nope, no LED. So, I mean, no UV out of there, so it's still the same color. But I tried to tell him about the program, just to encourage him. I tell every young person, find something that you can do. Don't just go through life. Even if this is a stepping stone, even if you only work in this profession for a few years till you find something else to do. You just never know, but it's just keep finding your passion. It's going to change every so many years. Keep following it. Don't give up on your dreams. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Samir, thank you for your repeat business. This is the third pair you've gotten from me. This one is the RayBan 4105 Folding Wayfarer, the color 601S, which is the matte black. There is a 601, which is a shiny black. You would think the S would stand for shiny, but no, it doesn't. It's the matte black. In the 54 eye size, it also comes in the 50. So everyone else, go out, live, love, learn, and hopefully you've seen how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.